Hello and welcome to Shikshak Ji HR Talk podcast, India's only HR podcast for business owners. I'm your host Chirag, and today we're going to talk about most important business decision that you're going to take as a business owner, about hiring smart people and building your A team for your business. I have with me distinguished guest uh, Dr. Vivek sir, who will walk us through the complexity of smart hiring and building your A team. Hello, sir. Welcome to this episode, and I would like to, talk to you about smart hiring and building A team for business owners in this episode. So let me ask you this first question, sir. Uh, Dr. Vivek sir, business owners say that hiring is a big challenge and they don't get good people.
Oh
Why, sir?
yeah. In fact, thank you so much, Chiragji, first of all, for taking this most significant subject. Virgin Atlantic, Richard Branson mentioned very clearly, if you take care of a people and people take care of a business, so that's what, to have the people, to have your A team, this discussion is very prominent. It's very specific. It's quite needed at the current hour that way. I was recollecting it that during my Taj, I was doing one session in Taj, and for future of TA, future of talent acquisition. Almost 800 plus HR people were there, HR managers were there, and there I actually shared them the one paraphrase, or what I can say, that one example. What's an expectation? What's our expectation when we go for a hiring? And you will be shocked, I actually connected with the Bollywood actors and actresses, that the business owner always want a beauty not lesser than Aishwarya Rai. Now, from where you will get it? That's one. And the body they want not lesser than Salman Khan. The perfectionist, they want like an Amir Khan. That Amir Khan, with due respect to all these Bollywood actors, but that's an expectation. That's an expectation of business owners today. They want advancement like a tiger shroff. Now, if you curate all those things in one body, how that body will look like? Where will get that body? Either on Jupiter, I don't know. So that's what we need to see. We need to have our realistic expectation. We don't want a person should know each and everything in accounts. Not possible at the starting of a juncture. So that's one of the major mistake what business owner do while they do a hiring of an A team or hiring of a team. In accounts, if I can give an example of an accounts, balance sheet reconciliation, account receivable, accounts payable, GST reconciliation, all that thing they want in one person. Not possible. So that's what it is quite important, that let's see that what we want to hire and let's see that how can we hire that. So, we can take it forward, and just to give you the parallels back, that while we want the beauty of Aishwarya, body of Salman, perfectionist like Amir Khan, and what I can say, that advanced like in Tiger Shroff. But do you know the budget? The budget, what you can expect a budget?
Sir, as a business owner, what I can pay is for a character actor or a sidekick, maybe say with all due respect, someone like Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
Oh yeah, that's what we need to be realistic. As we say that we have to be realistic with respect to the budget, what we are looking forward, to the talent, what we are looking forward.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have that great connect. That is quite important, and that's what the symmetry means all about. Yeah.
Sir, obviously they are not going to get such people unless they set up some kind of audition or have very weird and complex, arrangement to get all this personality put together and come out as one. So, since it is not going to happen, what are the practical ways or steps these business owners can take at least to start marching towards smart hiring, sir?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, a step by step, a bit by a bit by bit, we can definitely. I mean, there is a saying in English that Rome was not built in a day.
Absolutely.
But since Rome was built every day, that's what Rome was built. So we need to see that how we can build our Rome on a day-to-day basis. How can we do that? We should have a structured job description. Now there's a very strong way. I'll just take a minute to explain you
Sure,
about
sir.
the different. If you allow me for that job description framework, I'll explain that. So we'll go through the job description. Then there is an interview process, assessment framework. All these are the basics, and if these are in the place, definitely you can look forward to get a best person in your team. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe we should go through that framework, sir, because that will be very, very helpful to our listeners and viewers of this.
Really,
podcast.
yeah. I mean,
So
it's
could
my
you
pleasure
please-
to share these best practice that these are called 6-step framework. We call it as job description. Now in job description, there is a 6 stages, or there is a 6 parameter, or there is a 6 instances where different type of inputs come in that. So it always start with about the company. The first thing, about the company. Then second thing, you can just write 2-3 line. You can write 3-4 lines also. We should give a basic about that, when your company started, when what is your product and service and all that. And generally what happen, we always think that this can be done through website. If somebody is interested for my organization, they can go to the website, they can see that. But website, when you created considering clients in the mind, prospect in the mind.
Correct.
Your customer in the mind. You have never considered employee friendly, or what I can say, that employee centric website. No, we never do that. So at least in job description, we can mention 3-4 lines about the company, USP, unique selling proposition. Second one, we can write about fundamental criterias. Anything which you can answer in one word or a one line is called fundamental. Fundamentals are the basics, like for example, what should be the age, what should be the qualification, what should be the gender, what should be the location, what should be like my preference criteria, linguistic abilities, all that put together called as a fundamental. That's the first thing. Next thing comes as a functional. Now what as a person I want to do in that particular department post my joining, that is called as functional. KRAs and KPIs comes in picture in this. Not more, you can just mention 3-4, that's it. At least that can become a differentiator. People will come to know what I was doing in A, can I do the same thing in B? Or can I do the same thing in my previous, whatever I was doing in a previous organization, am I doing the same thing here? Should I will be doing the same thing here? That's a question mark. So your functional parameter gives you the clarity. The next one is called motivational. I'll just repeat once again. We started with about the company, few liners, 2-3 liners, or maybe just a 30-40 words that way. Second one is related to fundamental. Now fundamental, qualification, experience and so on and so forth. Functional we talk about as a third part. In third part functional, we talk about KRAs and KPIs. Just a basic what is expected to be done on that particular role. Then next to functional, we get into motivational. Now what is motivational? What extra you are offering your employee over and above the salary. Now always there is a question, what am I offering different? Am I offering a better designation? Am I offering better incentive? Am I offering better project? Am I offering better opportunity? All those things comes as a motivation. What can be a motivational parameter which we will factor there? Then the next one is called behavioral. In behavioral, what is my expectation? Am I looking for an individual contributor? Am I looking for a trainee level? Am I looking for a team leader? Am I looking for an SBU head? Am I looking for a vertical head? Am I looking for a top management? So all those things, whatever I am looking, that all should become behavioral. And that's how the behavior get changed. Trainee behavior is different than the managerial behavior. How you can get that correlation and how you can get this thing done, that's how your behavioral parameter comes in picture. Last is like, call to action, selection process. Generally what happen, people get confused. How many rounds of interview will be there? Who will take my first round? Who will take my second round? How many assessment will be there? Is there any case study I need to go through that? Is there any technical way I need to go through that? So if you write all those things, that all will cover, and that gives a clarity to your future employee. 6-step framework, one is about the company. I'll just repeat, for all the people here as a summary. So first is about the company, second one is fundamental criteria, third one is functional criteria, fourth one is motivational criteria, then behavioral criteria and call to action. So these are the 6 parameter which should be there in job description. Maybe I'm sorry for being little large on that, but I think that's quite needed, and we can share a template also if you want, we can share a template through our Sevakji bot. Yeah.
Sure, sir. That was very, very insightful and very detailed explanation of the, framework. I have never come across such framework. I am sure we can share this with our viewers and listeners with Shikshakji's, bot Sevakji for sure.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So let me continue with the same, framework in, discussion we have here. Is there a story, something related to this, like a client story, which can be shared with our viewers and listeners for their benefit to understand how this helps, sir?
Oh yeah, I'll give an example of a diagnostic center.
Mm-hmm.
So, no structured framework for a diagnostic center, and they were facing the challenge. They were facing challenge related to talent. They were facing challenge related to attrition. They were facing challenges related to performance. So all those things, what we did is that we tried to sum up, and then we created a framework. What we did is that since in diagnostic center the list of the functional parameter, or when you talk about a job description, remains quite same. We created that. Then it comes to the quality of hire. So then we started evaluating it, that if you follow this job description template, if you follow this standard way of assessment, if you follow this 2-way interview process, then it is very easy for you. And now you can see there's a quality of hire happens. And just to surprise to the fact, Chiragji, almost 37% of attrition got controlled here. One. Second one is that in that case, we have got many people started referring their, what I can say, that ex-colleague. The recruitment cost become quite minuscule. Quite a very, very minimal level it has got. How it has happened? Because of this implementation of a framework. Yeah, that's a real-time diagnostic story.
So very good. Thanks for sharing it. I would say as a HR doctor, you kind of helped diagnose the diagnosis lab. That is what a diagnostics lab, to put it together. Put it to the right
Exactly.
thing. So brilliant, sir. Again, very, very interesting. Now, as you have talked about the framework, sir, given us the case study, then comes our action item. So are there any action items that people can follow and at least start the first step, or taking the first step towards smart hiring and trying to build their A team?
Yeah. In fact, the best part is that your business is not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
So if you create a job description as an exercise for the first time, it's like, that you need not have to do it again. That's the first thing. Second one, if you are comfortable, creating an assessment parameter for your different functions, like for example, sales, what type of question you will ask with any sales executive, what type of question you will ask with a sales manager, what type of question you will ask with a general manager sales, if you are clear on that assessment. And the third thing is on interview. If you are clear that I'll take 2 rounds of an interview, if you are clear that I'll take 3 rounds of an interview, right? In fact, I can say that I'm quite blessed to write a book called Interview Mantra, which is available on Amazon and Flipkart and all that. But, where that was a major concern is that what people should ask in interview. And that's what Interview Mantra is all about. So, these are the basics, what we curated and what we drafted, and that becomes a success story for the many people. So just a small 3-step framework: create a job description, create, which includes of all these 6 factors. Then second thing is get into the assessment framework, and third one is interview. Get into that interview level, and then you should be clear that if I am hiring somebody as a service engineer, what should be my interview parameters. I want to tell you, that we always do a major mistake. What we do is that we follow resumes.
Hmm.
We take resume and then we start asking the questions. Now the guy who's in front of you sitting, that person knows very well what that person has written in the CV. Now you just do tick tack, right? And that person also see that, yeah, oh yes, he's asking the same thing what I've written. We all feel very happy. But that's the right way of the interview? Absolutely not. Why? Because 2 CVs are also not same. I mean, I don't know whether ChatGPT can do that or AI can do that, but as of now, no 2 CVs are same. So if no 2 CVs are same, you shouldn't be doing this activity. Rather than that, you should have your own question, 4 or 5 questions framework, which you can ask them, and that question can be become a selection parameter and selection criteria for everyone. Just a small framework. Yeah.
Absolutely, I totally agree what you just said, sir. I mean, I will thank you for giving us so much, inside details about this topic on hiring, which clarifies a lot of myth, not just resume screening and looking at resume during interview and just interviewing people based on that resume. It's much more than that. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, pleasure is all mine. Yeah, thank you.
So what we understand from this episode is HR is not just hiring roles or filling positions. It's an opportunity that helps you to build your solid team that could be your A team for your business. And thank you, Dr. Vivek sir, for bringing in all the required details that is necessary for making a smart hiring. In the next episode, we will talk about compliance that sends shivers down every business owner. And if you want to connect with our Shikshak bot, there is a link in the description, and there is a QR code, and there is a number, so that if you want to know more about hiring or need some guidance or even a resource, you can connect with us and talk to Sevak bot, which can help you take things forward. Thank you. I will see you in the next one.